Hey everybody, Bob Babbitt here. Welcome back to Breakfast with Bob from Challenge Miami. We are brought to you by Challenge North America, City Bikes, Veneto, the Challenge Athletes Foundation's Florida Dairy Farmers, and Wahoo. Our next guest, Jodie Stimpson, joins us. And Jodie, we were just chatting about Lauren Parker. I didn't realize that you had raced against Lauren.
Yeah, I raced against her in Devonport, and I was lucky to take the win on that race. But I didn't know who this girl was that basically kicked our butts in the swim and led by 90 seconds on a 750 swim. She was an awesome swimmer. Obviously could read the surf so well, and a random from the UK can't really read the surf. But yeah, she's a special human. And then I also did the same race as her. It was my second 70.3. Which was at the time Challenge Bahrain. Yes. And yeah, she's a very special human.
It's fascinating because she was injured April 18th, 2017, and had her on the radio show in July for the first time. And even then, this a couple months, she's still in the hospital. She's saying, I need to get back to triathlon.
Yeah, well, when I listened to her interview, and she was basically talking exactly about that, and just saying that she wanted to be a professional athlete and kind of had that mindset, and her body hadn't even recovered or adjusted to the new way, and she was already thinking about how she could compete again.
Yeah.
And I think that just shows her strength and mindset, really. And listening to previous interviews, I follow her. I'm a big fan, and now she's going for multiple events at Tokyo. It's absolutely amazing.
The funniest thing was, I told her, if you want to get back in the triathlon, it all starts at our San Diego Triathlon Challenge in San Diego.
Yeah.
So I said, we need to get you out here. So she checked herself out of rehab. Said, I'm going home for the weekend. And then she comes to San Diego from Australia. And when she gets there, I'm sure she was thinking, and she said she's thinking that she'll be this challenged person there, and people all be talking about her. And she gets there, and there's 150 other challenged athletes, and some missing multiple limbs and wheelchairs. And she was just like, "Oh, there's a lot more of me out there than I thought." And so at our Friday night dinner that we do with 700 people. I introduced her to the crowd and said, "This is Lauren, and she wants to get back into para-triathlon." And the whole room just gave her a standing ovation. And she was like, "What's going on?"
I think the mindset that you I think we all have. We're all a bit Fruit Loopy, aren't we? But then the strength of her mindset is just so inspiring.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with her, not competing able-bodied. I think that's the beauty of it. Triathlon, it's just triathlon at the end of the day. It's swim, bike, run, and we all kind of love that sport. Mm-hmm. If you're an age grouper, if you're a pro, if you race for the para, that's something that's really special with triathlon. But I think just following Lauren's journey, it can't be anything but inspiring, really.
When you go through a year like this, where something that maybe some of us take for granted, I'll race next weekend, or maybe I won't do it this year, I'll do that race next year. When that goes away, does it make you appreciate it more?
Oh, most definitely. That's the reason why I'm here. It's super early in the year, and God, we're in March, but am I going to pass up the opportunity to race against? Well, firstly to race.
Yes.
Am I going to pass up that? No, I love what I do. I love training, but I do it to race.
Of course.
And I think it's just come that then Challenge have done an amazing job, and we've got, again, one of the best fields in the world again. So it's oh yeah, I'll just do an early race. Yeah, okay, it's basically another world championship. All right then. I mean.
So Challenge Daytona, right? That was you had
a shock to the system.
A little bit of a shock to the system, and you get 15th there. But what's amazing, we're talking there was 40 great women there, right? It's most races you go and you go 15th, it's like, oh, I had a crapper. No, you had a good day. What did you learn from that one?
I think I kind of knew going into it. Yeah, okay, I'm still an ITU athlete. I've got an awful lot to learn at 70.3 distance.
Yes.
But it's like growing up, I always wanted to, I suppose, go. The Olympics was always the first off.
Of course.
But there was always, I do want to go long. It was never a question, do I? It was always in my journey that I wanted to do. I wanted to do 70.3. I wanted to go to Kona. Of
course.
It was
You're
never
a triathlete.
Yeah. But going in there, I knew that I'm a strong cyclist in ITU racing, but it's a different ball game. These women can push big watts in aero positions that I can't do yet, and that takes time. And I think it's quite refreshing because it's such a learning curve, and it's kind of like I'm new to the sport again.
Right.
And
you're a rookie all over again.
Yeah, and that's a really refreshing, I suppose, part to my new chapter. I think, apart from Lucy in the swim, like I'm quite solid on my swim, and even my run leg,
Yep.
I can take some confidence in that. That's why I got 15th in Daytona. I ran through. I think I had one of the slowest bike splits, but it's, I knew I would be very vulnerable on Daytona course, and it is similar to this one, but to me, putting yourself in those uncomfortable positions is where you learn the most, and that's why I'm here. Like I need to learn, and I need to learn from the best in the world to, hopefully match them a bit better.
What's cool about this course, it's Daytona, but with a little added on, right? You've got the road course, and you've got the winds are strong every day here. 15-mile-an-hour winds, 20-mile-an-hour winds. So you're going to need to handle the bike a little bit here, don't you think? Yeah,
definitely. I think the wind, for me personally, the wind will play a bigger part in my race. I think I can get some ground on the girls in the technical bit, just because I'm more used to flinging my bike around and I've got confidence in it.
Yes.
And I think I can carry more speed through the technical section. But I say 50% of the course is into a headwind, and you've got to have some power in the legs to be able to handle your bike in that. And that's going to be a bit of my weakness. So, but I think it's 50% is a good strength, and 50% is a bit of a weakness. So, it definitely will help me a little bit having that technical section.
Yeah. So when you look back at and you've been doing this sport since you were a little
8
kid.
years old.
Yeah, 8
yeah.
years old. Dad got you into this stuff. That's
He
child
did.
abuse, I think we call that nowadays. So Dad gets you into this. What do you look back at as the race that maybe told you could be good at this? Was there one race that, okay, now I know I can be good at this?
I think ultimately I always said to myself, if I couldn't make a living from the sport, then I shouldn't be doing the sport. Because I didn't come from a background where like mum and dad could help me, so it was kind of on me to kind of make my way in the sport.
Yep.
But I think probably in 2019, the under-23 Worlds, I got silver to Holly Avil that year on the Gold Coast, and I think that's where it really started to, okay, I can make a living out of this. This can be a career. So I think it started to ring a bit more true probably around then.
So this year, and everything's still up in the air. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We do have sort of a schedule. What will this year be for you?
For me, I'm super lucky, really. I've already qualified for the Worlds, 70.3 Worlds.
Perfect.
So
St. George,
yeah. So that course is renowned.
That's a good course for you, right?
Yeah,
Tough.
it's supposed to be
it's a tough bike, tough run.
Exactly. So I think for me, that's my challenge for this year. That's what I want to set my eyes on. That's what I want to try and perform well at.
Right. And the whole Ironman thing, is that something that'll be down the line?
A lot further down the line, it's
you're a smart woman.
Yeah, like I've got.
Good move.
I need to, and I want to do well at 70.3 first.
Right.
Because I think I think I could be good at 70.3 distance. I think it suits me.
Yeah.
I think I've just got to learn my trade again, to be honest.
So when you look back at the Olympics that didn't happen, right? Were there points during that era where you were thinking, okay, enough, I'm out of here. My goal was to make the Olympic team. I got sort of hosed. I'm not going to be on the Olympic team. I'm going to go find something else to do. Or did it just inspire you to go, okay, I'm going to prove people wrong here? Yeah,
it was never not triathlon. I've never not wanted to do triathlon. There was decisions that I had to make. So when I didn't make Rio, I went and trained with Cyril Linley. I was like, I need someone that's motivational, someone that's positive, someone that can get me through this bad period.
Nobody better than that.
Exactly. Her and Rebecca Keat were, amazing at that period, and I owe them so much. And they got me through that, but I never wanted to stop triathlon. I love it. It's my life. It always has been, and it always will be.
Yes. Could you watch those games on TV?
Oh, I had to. Yeah, I did.
You did?
Yeah. It was hard.
I was going to say, my God.
Yeah, and I was shouting at the TV, and it was, it was hard. But if I hadn't watched it then, I would have watched it after. And it's the same. It's hard when you're not on the start line. It's hard when you're injured and you're...
Yeah.
But I suppose at the end of the day, I'm still a fan of triathlon. I'm still a bit of a geek of triathlon.
Yeah.
And I love watching it. When I raced purely ITU, I still watch 70.3. I watch Kona every year. I'm still a fan.
Always fan. Being a fan, who are you excited about racing this weekend?
That's a tricky one.
Have you raced Lucy?
No.
Annie raced at
Daytona. Yeah, I raced Annie.
Oh yeah, she ITU.
Oh yeah. And I trained with Annie.
Now were you surprised that Annie made that transition so quickly from ITU to Ironman?
Okay, so Annie is one of the toughest but smartest trainers I've ever had the privilege of training with. She just knows not to tick over to that limit.
Knows when to back off.
Exactly. And
that's hard.
It is super hard. I was shocked that she made it so quickly, to be honest.
Yeah.
Did I think she would? Most definitely. And I knew that she would be there on the run because her running is, amazing.
Otherworldly, yeah.
I think she's improved her swimming since I trained with her.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at how strong that small...
Riding a bike.
Yeah, small human is.
Especially in the winds,
yeah.
Right?
I knew in ITU, I knew that she was super strong and she can handle a bike amazingly. But it's another strength, and she's done amazingly well in that. And I also raced Paula. The year that I got silver at 2019,
yes,
Paula got bronze. I've raced some of these girls ITU, and I do think I knew going into Daytona that to kind of come on top of that, you had to be a 70.3 specialist.
Right.
I think. I'm obviously excited to race Lucy. She's, I think her, Paula and Alia are all going in as favourites going into this race. I think they're going to be pretty hard to beat the podium, I think.
But you sort of like being a little bit of an underdog.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. People are like, Jodie, she was 15th last time. But I always love when I look at Ironman results before the following year's race. The people who are 15th, there's a lot of times they're on the podium the next year. Right?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm standing on the start line. I'm going to give it as much as I've got.
Of course.
It's exciting. It's what I love to do. I love the race. I love the excitement going into it.
Did you feel like, oh my God, this is a long time in the aero position during that last race?
It was a massive comfort thing for me, and that's kind of what I'm struggling with at the minute. Is you put me on a road bike and I can hold the watts. I can, it's easy to me. But it's the difficult thing that I'm finding at the minute is pushing the watts in the aero position. and that's what I've kind of got to learn and find the right setup for me. Because I think a comfort thing was a massive thing in Daytona, that it wasn't necessarily the upper body that I was struggling with. It was kind of lower, that I just is finding that comfortable area to push the watts.
Yes.
Which is learning. It's all new, and I think that's a process.
It's always fun, huh?
It is.
Every day you're learning new stuff.
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
why the sport is so cool.
Mhm.
I love it. Hey, Jodie, always a pleasure to chat with you.
Thank you.
Jodie Stimpson has been our guest, everybody. Again, Breakfast with Bob. My name is Bob Babbitt. Hold on, we will be right